And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another movie review. Today we are completing the Dark Knight trilogy with The Dark Knight Rises, released in 2012. This is the third and final of the Christian Bale Batman films. And I remember a lot of the hype around this movie because Dale Jr. saw him win at Michigan in 2012. Guess what paint scheme he was driving? Dark Knight Rises Mountain Dew scheme. I still really want that diecast. I don't have it yet. Because they barely made any of them, and they're all signed, so they cost like $800. What the fuck? Anyway, going off on a little tangent. Apparently this movie was not very well received. I remember it being received pretty well, but it did come up against some pretty stiff competition, especially in the superhero genre in 2012, alongside like the Avengers and all of that. So I was finally excited to try it out myself and see how I liked it. So I got a lot of thoughts. Let's just jump right into it, shall we? So I was confused as to why Bruce ages so much between Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, I mean, it's been 8 years. In 8 years, I will be 30. I had to come to that realization while watching this film. Because I was like, oh, 8 years? Really? That's not that long. And I was like, oh shit. That is a long time. Fuck. So, but still, I mean, he goes from like a very able-bodied guy, superhuman abilities, to Dr. House. Literally Dr. House. With the beard and longer hair, obviously, because it's fucking Christian Bale. But then he got the cane and everything. What? Okay. Now, I mean, they do fix that, and he becomes, more of what we'd expect him to be, through some powers of robotic prosthetic stuff. But, it's just, why did he age so much? I know he could probably kind of let himself go. That's implied is probably what happened, but, and also, of course, he's taken a lot of hits in the first two movies, but still, it was a bit jarring. I have to say, Anne Hathaway as Catgirl, one of the best. It's Catwoman, not Catgirl. Catwoman. It's a woman, everybody. Anne Hathaway as Catwoman, one of the best casting choices for any movie ever. I have not seen a lot of Anne Hathaway's work. I am going to be getting on that. I saw The Devil's Wears Prada. It's another side tangent. Why the fuck are they making another Devil Wears Prada? They did not need to make that. Where the fuck are they even going to go? You damn well know I'm going to see that too. There will be a Devil Wears Prada 2 review on this channel some point in May when the movie comes out. Just so you know. What the fuck? Out of any movie that could have gotten like a sequel this year, or 2026 at this point, really, that movie? Okay. Anyway, wanted to go off on that side tangent here. But she does an awesome job in this movie. She might be really the star of the show. She is so badass. She plays the role so well. Really does pair up with Christian Bale well. I think, at least. I think she does a really, really good job. So, 10 out of 10 casting choice there. Fuck, I don't even remember who made this movie. Whatever. And I don't care. Good job, whoever did it. Whoever casted Anne Hathaway as Catwoman, great job. We got Alfred back. We got Morgan Freeman back. They both do again an amazing job. Alfred's kind of a dick actually in this movie, which it's obvious that he's not trying to be a dick. Christian Bale, Batman, Bruce Wayne is a pretty giant dick to Alfred in this movie, so I can't fault him that much for it, but it is noticeable. But then we got the big villain of the movie. Now, Catwoman is one of the villains, but I really don't count her as a villain. I count her as like an anti-hero sidekick, because that's kind of what she is. She doesn't really do a whole lot of villainous things, at least towards Batman. You know, obviously she like robs places and kicks ass, but that's what everybody does in these movies. So I can't really fault her for that. But she doesn't really fight Batman at all, which was a little disappointing, but doesn't really help me classify her as a true villain. Now, the true villain in this movie was Bane. Bane is in this movie. He looks good. Only complaint is that I think he should have been a little bit bigger, either through some like CGI shit, or they just casted like a bigger guy to do it. Now, he's already big, but like, I mean, you know, Bane is the really muscular guy because he has like the drug thing, and he doesn't really have that in this movie. He's just the guy with the mask because, and then we get there's like a whole deep lore behind the mask, and he's like the big dark deep voice guy that can beat shit up, you know. I was expecting him to be a little bit bigger, and he wasn't, but he was still pretty good. Really good quote from both him and then Batman later on is that you have my permission to die. What a cold, badass line that is. Absolute banger. Banger line. I thought I had a couple others. I thought I had a couple other quotes in here that I really, really liked, but it doesn't seem like I did, so we'll just move on. But Bane does really good. There's a lot more lore behind Bane than I would have thought. Because it's kind of hit or miss with some of the lore behind the villains in this movie. You get a lot of stuff with Two-Face, obviously, but you don't get a whole lot with Joker. You get a lot with Bane, but not Catwoman. And Scarecrow, kind of, but not really. By the way, like I said in the Batman Begins review, Scarecrow is here, but he's in Oppenheimer form. Never actually see the Scarecrow mask or anything like that. So he's just kind of there as a small cameo, as like a sentencing judge during the whole like purge type thing that goes on near the end of the film. But he's fine. It's fine for like the 2 scenes he's in. Also, I have to point out, this is a trend across all 3 of these films. How many suits are people going to wear? Not like the costumes, not like what Batman wears or Catwoman wears or all the Joker wears or any of these people. Talking about like Alfred's character and like all the side characters, all the business characters. How many suits are people going to freaking wear? I want to know how much money the studio bought or spent in the budget on just regular suits. There's so many suits. Wear something else. Please. Do you not own a polo shirt? Do you not own a pair of khaki pants? Do you not own a regular fucking t-shirt? It's not even just the people in the company stuff. It's just random ass bystanders on the fucking street. And I know we're in the business district, and so everybody's gonna be all high and proper. Wear a fucking sports jersey. Something, I don't know. I'll bring out the Mick fucking Lovin' shirt that I have under my bed. That's not it. No, I don't have a Mick fucking Lovin' shirt. Mountain Dew-me, that's the shirt that I have. I'll bring that shirt out. Give it to... I don't know any background character names, unfortunately, but whoever they are, they can have them. Just wear something fucking different. Going off on that, too, this is where I was really like the first 2 movies and most of the Batman movies, like, there's a lot of, like, big-time explosions. There's a lot of big-time battles, a lot of big-time cars or flying machines or just gear or guns or whatever, right? It's a superhero movie. That's the point. But there's a lot, but most of the time they at least keep it somewhat grounded to the fact that, like, yeah, this is a real-life movie. Like, not real-life. It's a real-life movie. A live-action film, right? Like, they keep it somewhat grounded in that regard. And I thought the first 2 movies did a pretty good job of that. This movie is really going to start to go off the rails. And there's one scene in particular. It's when the undercover cop guy, he is going to the construction site and he gets attacked by the two construction workers that are, goons, and he's pinned, and so he decides to shoot his gun, turns around his gun, shoots it off of a cylinder, off a concrete mixing truck, cylinder object, by the way. He shoots that, somehow perfectly ricochets off the truck into the guy's head so he can free himself. It's a cylinder fucking object. I played bowling for fucking 8 years of my goddamn life. I know that a cylinder object, it's a 1 in a 300, literally 1 in a 360-degree chance that you even remotely can hit the guy in the fucking face, let alone perfectly ricochet off of a cylinder object back in his head. You cannot tell me that fucking happens. Nobody's gonna fucking do that. You don't know what to when he's in a choke lock like this and be like, oh, let me just do some Pythagorean theorem real quick. Not like Gotham's about to blow up or anything like that. What the fuck, man? That really pissed me off. That one part. Just like, how? Just how? And be like, oh, movie logic. Don't think about it. Not that deep. It is that deep, okay? Fuck you, math. Oh, Liam Neeson comes back as well. He's here. He has a kind of a full circle moment with his character. I guess that is debunked, but I don't know. He's there. Woohoo. I like the football scene too when they were at the Pittsburgh Steelers stadium, still called Heinz Field, Rip Heinz Field. And then they have the thing, and then the thing, and then the thing, and then the thing, and then the whole stadium crumbles. That was cool. I like that. It was pretty obvious that you could obviously tell when they were filming in New York City and when they were filming in Pittsburgh. Did not do a good job at just as if they cared about making them different, but you could easily tell. But the football scene was cool because people were wearing something other than fucking suits. They were wearing sports gear, even if it was the most generic, off-brand sports gear, packed with fucking Under Armour logos all over the fucking place. Am I wearing Under Armour? No, I'm wearing Nike right now, so kind of debunks my theory, but whatever. And then at the end, before I get to my main complaint with this movie, I do want to mention a couple other things. At the end, when Bruce dies, fakes his death to go off to France, with Anne Hathaway, but when you see Alfred crying, dude, fuck, that was sad. That was sad, man. It's Alfred. Can't make Alfred cry. Come on now. But then he has that moment where he sees him at the table in France, and that was really nice. That was a really nice ending. I like that. And then finding out that the undercover cop that we hear throughout the movie is Robin, that was cool too. That was really cool. So I did like that. That made it a really nice ending, really wholesome ending, cool ending. I really like that. So the ending, good job. Did a better job than the fucking Tom Holland trilogy ending, I'll tell you that much. Though I guess that's still going on. Now I have to talk about my main complaint with this movie. And it's a complaint that stretches across all three movies. And I mentioned it before in each of the past two reviews, and I'll mention again. The pacing. The difference between this one and the other two films is that in the first movie, the first half of the movie is badly paced. But then it gets better, really better, in the second half. And it's off on a good note. The second movie, most of it, up until the last 30 to 40 minutes, really well paced. Well, I wouldn't say really well, but good pacing. Then it starts to get slow. This whole movie, pacing-wise, is awful. awful fucking pacing. This movie is 2 hours and 45 minutes long. 2 hours and 45 minutes long. No. Way too fucking long. And to fill that runtime, so much stuff is drawn out. It's kind of like they played a bit of a reverse of what they did in the first movie, where like the first half is like him being Batman, doing Batman style shit, and then most of the second half, I again forgot I was even watching a Batman film, because they spend, goddamn, it feels like 2 fucking hours with Christian Bale in the fucking pit out somewhere in the Middle East, and he's just like, just there. He's just like there, and then he finally wakes up after Liam Neeson shows up. He finally wakes up and starts doing some training, and finally escapes the fucking hole so he can be Batman again for the last half hour of the film. But what the fuck, man? Why do we need all that? Like, obviously there was some cool stuff. It was mostly just stuff that we knew from the first 2 films, though. Like, the only thing that was really different about it is we got Liam Neeson's thing, which ended up being a complete lie, by the way. And it was just so fucking boring. I'm not watching a Batman trilogy so I can watch a guy do sit-ups in a fucking prison cell for 2 hours. I don't want to listen to a bunch of fucking backstory. This is the case for Batman Begins and this movie. I don't want to spend an hour, 2 hours listening to fucking backstory. I want to see Batman kicking the shit out of some goons. I want to see him beating the shit out of Joker. I want to see him beating the shit out of Bane. He had fucking Bane in this movie, and we're wasting that opportunity because you got fucking Christian Bale sitting over here fucking gooning off in a little fucking prison cell in Abu Dhabi for an hour and a half. What the fuck? And it just pisses me off. I'm not like, is this even a Batman film? It is just so annoying how drawn, and this again is the case for all 3 of these fucking movies. They're so drawn out. So drawn out. I'm like, what are we doing? But this movie was badly paced all the way through, so it was worse. And I don't know if that's the biggest complaint with this movie. I don't know. It could be, could not be. I haven't looked into reviews of this movie too much, but that's my biggest complaint with it for sure. Like, what the hell are you doing? This movie could have easily been condensed down to a 2-hour movie. Yeah, you should have some stuff with him in the prison cell, but that long? Absolutely not. It's all fucking filler. And that's not to say, and then like we get the ending with Bane, and then the end stuff with Bane, like there's so much lore behind Bane. It was crazy, and then you get the plot twist villain involved with Bane too. I'm like, really? We got like no Joker backstory, no Joker die. We got so little with Joker, but Bane gets all this fucking backstory? What? Made no sense. But like, it's good. It's good backstory. I liked it. It's better than watching. It's better than sitting in that fucking hole with the bats as a kid for 2 hours. Whatever. That's my thoughts on The Dark Knight Rises. I mean, it's been 13 years, so I don't think we're gonna get another Christian Bale Batman. It's safe to say that this franchise is probably done for, and I think that's a good thing. My final score for this movie, I'm going to give it a good 5.5. It's good. There's a lot of good action sequences. Anne Hathaway's great. You know what? Anne Hathaway alone, 6.5. We'll give it up to a 6.5. Anne Hathaway alone gives it a whole extra point. There we go. It's got a lot of really good stuff, and it is still a good movie. But my God, just be prepared. It is a long fucking grind of a movie. I didn't like that. So, with that in mind, it's going to do it for this review. If you've seen The Dark Knight Rises, I'd love to know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. It's going to do it for this video as well, so stay tuned for other much more amazing content, including more movie reviews and other awesome stuff. And until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.